Over the previous 4,000 years, Chinese people have constructed tens of thousands of bridges. The bridges serve as a powerful reminder of Chinese ancient culture and showcase the talent and wisdom of their inhabitants. The Anji Bridge, built in China between the years 595 and 605, is the oldest bridge still intact and in good condition. Hello and welcome back to our channel. We're back again with a new video. Ancient Chinese bridges are well known and hold a prominent place in both the East and West's histories of bridge building. The Chinese people have built countless brilliantly constructed and gorgeous bridges throughout history. They have facilitated transportation, enhanced sceneries, and become one of the distinguishing features of ancient Chinese culture by bridging rivers and mountains. Bridge construction has advanced at a rapid rate on a massive scale in contemporary times, particularly during the infrastructure boom of the last 2 decades. There were no bridges spanning the Yangtze River, China's longest river, from Yibin to Shanghai, before the Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge was finished in 1957, so all overland roads and railways that crossed this 2,884-kilometer stretch of river had to be transported by ferry. By the end of 2012, there were 73 such bridges, up from just 7 in 1992, 8 of which were brand new additions. In fact, China is responsible for building 17 of the top 35 longest bridges in the world. China's Qixi, the Qixi Bridge, a 1.4-mile long masterpiece of concrete and steel, spans a verdant valley in southern China. A 4-lane motorway is suspended 610 feet above corn and rice fields by cables that are held in place by 4 piers that resemble beautiful tuning forks that are as tall as skyscrapers. Gu Tianyong, a 66-year-old farmer, peered up from a dirt road below and considered the Colossus, a route that connects southwest China with the east coast. The Qixi Bridge is one of the many magnificent bridges that have recently been built throughout the nation. Chinese leaders applaud them as evidence that their infrastructure development capabilities are greater than those of any other nation. China now holds a number of global records, frequently surpassing its own achievements, including the highest rail trestle, longest bridge, and many more titles. The astounding buildings have reduced travel time in some locations, facilitated commercial transactions, and created a sizable portion of the nation's economic output, laying the groundwork, at least in theory, for decades of future expansion. Critics contend that construction has turned into a means in and of itself as the bridges and expressways they span to continue to rise. Many of the projects are racking up debt and encouraging corruption while providing dubious transit benefits propelled by government-backed loans and encouraged by the large construction corporations and officials who stand to profit from them. The Qixi Bridge in Hunan province is a prime example of the shady underbelly of China's infrastructure growth despite its splendor. It exceeded the budget by more than 50%, coming in at $300 million. The project was plagued by setbacks, a major construction accident, and corruption in the administration. The bridge and the road it services have been underutilized and burdened with debt ever since they opened in October. Fewer than a third of the 65 Chinese highway and rail projects Mr. Ansar looked at were really economically effective, and the remainder added more debt than to transportation requirements, according to a paper he helped to prepare. The researchers expressed concern that poorly managed infrastructure investments could plunge the country into a financial disaster if they are not curbed. Major infrastructure achievements have long been a source of pride in the nation that constructed the Great Wall. Engineering triumphs from China include the Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydroelectric project, the world's tallest railway from Qinghai province to Lhasa, Tibet, and an 800-mile canal connecting the Yangtze River system to Beijing as part of the greatest water transfer project in history. Eric Sakowski, an American bridge enthusiast who manages a website on the highest bridges in the world, remarked, "The volume of high bridge construction in China is just absurd. China is building, let's say, 50 high bridges a year, while the rest of the world may be building only 10. According to Mr. Sakowski's research, China is home to 81 of the world's 100 tallest buildings, including some that are still under construction. The Qixi Bridge comes in at 162. The longest sea bridge in the world, a 14-mile cable-stay bridge skimming across the Pearl River Delta, is almost finished. It is a part of a 22-mile bridge and tunnel crossing that connects Hong Kong and Macau with mainland China. China also has the longest bridge in the world, the 102-mile Danyang-Kunshan Grand Bridge, a high-speed rail viaduct running parallel to the Yangtze River. The expansion of expressways in the nation has been compared to that of the interstate system highways in the United States in the 1950s, but China is expanding at an impressive rate. According to government statistics, China added 26,100 new bridges on its roadways in 2016, including 363 super large ones with an average length of approximately a mile. Number 1. A new glass walkway will be located in China's Guizhou province, according to CNN Travel. The new bridge, which is 1,804 feet long, surpasses the record held by another well-known bridge also in China as the longest glass bridge in the world. The new bridge, which is scheduled to open in August, will enable visitors to stroll while taking in the scenery of the Huangguoshu scenic area. The bridge's construction, which started in March, is claimed to have cost $1 million in total. Number 2. India and China have been constructing new roads, bridges, and landing strips along the entire frontier since the military standoff started in May 2020, in addition to working to upgrade the existing infrastructure. China is constructing a new bridge on Pangong Tso as part of its ongoing infrastructure development in the eastern Ladakh region near the line of actual control LAC, which will give it another avenue to move soldiers closer to the LAC and between the north and south banks of the lake. According to satellite imagery and persons familiar with the development on Wednesday, China is building a second bridge in a territory it controls near the strategically significant Pangong Tso Lake in eastern Ladakh. This could let the Chinese military quickly mobilize its forces in the area. The bridge is being constructed in the midst of a protracted standoff between Indian and Chinese troops at a number of flashpoints in eastern Ladakh that lasted for more than 2 years. The Indian defense establishment hasn't made any official comments or reaction to the new building. China has been concentrating on bolstering its military capabilities after Indian troops took control of several crucial heights on the southern bank of the Pangong Lake in August 2020 as a result of Chinese PLA attempts to frighten them there. Konark Fort, which was formerly a part of India, has been governed by China since 1958. The LAC is located far to the west of Konark Fort, with China claiming it at Finger 4 and India at Finger 8. After the standoff began, various areas of tension came to the surface, including the north and the south sides of the lake. The region experienced a significant mobilization until India and China withdrew troops from the north and south banks in February 2021. The two sides even placed tanks, sometimes only a few hundred meters apart. India outsmarted China during the end of August 2020 to seize the Kailash Ranges, hitherto unoccupied heights, on the south bank of the lake. In order to control the important Spangor Gap, which can be exploited to launch an offensive like China did in 1962, Indian troops took up positions on its summits, including Magar Hill, Gurung Hill, Rezang La, and Rachin La. This also offered them a view of the PLA garrison at Moldo. In the Fingers area on the north bank, Indian troops had also taken up position above the Chinese troops. Shots have been fired by both sides during this battle for the heights, a first in more than 40 years. Through the chilly winter, troops from the two nations stayed on these heights. One of the key reasons China was forced to negotiate a pullback was the importance of these positions. In the Chushul subsector south of Pangong Tso, on the Kailash Range, both nations agreed to withdraw from the lake's north bank. According to sources, China's new bridge will enable it to quickly mobilize its forces in this region in an effort to avoid a repeat of what happened in August 2020. According to reports, China has just finished building the first bridge in the area. According to the people described above, the new bridge is being built more than 20 kilometers from the line of actual control LAC. Damien Simon, a geospatial intelligence researcher who monitors Chinese activities along the LAC, tweeted satellite photographs of the new structure. Simon, who goes by the handle @Detresfa, stated that a bigger bridge is being built. A retired Indian Army commander who used to be stationed in Ladakh told CNBC that the new bridge can accommodate tanks and armored personnel carriers and will allow China to speed up deployment across the river sides. What the bridge adds to Chinese capabilities is the capacity to quickly transport soldiers between the north and south sides of the Pangong Tso Lake, which they previously lacked, said General Rohit Gupta, who served with the Indian Army's Northern Command Command's Fire and Fury Corps. Ladakh is the subject of continuing conflict between the two countries. According to their respective governments, it was a flashpoint between India and China in mid-2020 when violent battles killed 20 Indian soldiers and 5 Chinese forces. According to some accounts, the Chinese death toll ranges between 38 and 45 Chinese soldiers. The Lake of Pangong Tso is located in contested territory claimed by both countries. Since the 1960s, China has governed 2/3 of the lake, while India controls the remaining 1/3. According to Jen Gupta, the new bridge, which reduces the 130-kilometer distance between the lake's southern and northern banks, is part of an effort to counter an Indian tactical advantage in the area. India is the only one of the Quad's 4 members to share a border with China. The unmarked 3,488-kilometer boundary between India and China is the world's longest disputed border. Former Indian Trade Secretary Ajay Dua told CNBC on Tuesday that the Quad nations should cooperate militarily, even if it means upsetting China. Only soldiers and lighter vehicles could cross the previous bridge. Actually, the new one is wider and larger in size. The source cited above explained why the new building is crucial by saying this suggests that they are looking at speedier induction of not only troops and vehicles but also armored columns. According to satellite photographs, the Chinese have finished building the first bridge and are currently building roads to connect it to one of their largest military garrisons in the area, as was reported last month. The bridges are a part of the Chinese's extensive military infrastructure project in eastern Ladakh. The Chinese constructed a new route to its Moldo garrison between September 2020 and mid-2021, while the India-China standoff continued in the southern banks of the Pangong Tso in order to avoid the visibility arc of the Indian soldiers and equipment on top of favorable heights. According to sources, China's People's Liberation Army (PLA) plans to use the new building to create a variety of pathways to thwart future operations by Indian forces on the southern banks of the Pangong Tso. India does not anticipate battling China again along the line of actual control, according to government sources, even as Chinese development continues, LAC. However, they have made it plain that New Delhi will provide a strong response without concern for the results if Beijing attempts to rekindle hostilities. Here was what China is doing by constructing new bridges. Hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching.